What's up, everyone? This is Jason. Welcome back. We're going to be doing something a little different that I haven't done on this channel yet. We're going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead Season 4 trailer that we saw from Comic Con this last weekend in San Diego, 2013. Um, it's uh, it's an incredible trailer. I've watched it several times, and I figured the least I could do is do a review on it because I love The Walking Dead. It's my favorite show right now. So let's get into this. It starts out. Daryl's just looking badass, and he's hanging out with some other people from the prison, Rick's group, outside a big spot location, and looks like they're clearing it out, looking for supplies, and we see some new characters hanging out there. Obviously, people that they brought over from Woodbury, and we don't know too many of these faces yet. We will come, the start of the season. But for now, we just get a little glimpse of a few new characters. Next, we see lots of walkers, almost practically a herd at the fences outside the prison. There's a lot more than usual, and they're in groups. They're not spreading out along the fences like they had in the past. They're all zoning in on one tower or one area. Then next segment goes to looks like just life as usual at the prison in the zombie apocalypse. We see Maggie at the tower, standing guard. Looks like they're actually getting some gardening at the prison. We see Carl working with his dad, Rick, and all of a sudden there's screams and they yell, "There's walkers inside the prison." Rick says that someone attacked the cell block. So who could it be? Well, first thought off the top of my head, it's got to be the governor, but I don't see the governor anywhere in this trailer, and that's kind of odd. Now, he was at Comic Con. He was in the Walking Dead panel with all the main characters in the cast. So he's got to be in the series somewhere. You'd assume this is the governor's work, somehow to get back at Rick for taking all his people from Woodbury and starting a new life at the prison and leaving the governor with no one. Well, that's his own fault because the whole group that he went to the prison to attack Rick with, he killed off almost all of them except for a couple guys. Well, back to the trailer. So Rick is trying to figure out who attacked the cell block. We see him, snooping around, looking for clues, checking stuff out, and then he's checking outside the prison, and we see animal heads and animal parts and covered in flies and all outside. So it looks like somebody is leaving stuff and like leading the walkers to the prison, which is just sick. It's quite the way to get back at Rick and his group. Then we shows Tyrese talking to one of the new girls, talking about that they need supplies to build up the fences, and Rick says he wants to stay at the prison. He wants to defend, what they've got there, and so then another step in they're taking to do this shows Carol talking to the kids about knife safety and how to protect themselves. Just another day in the zombie apocalypse, I guess. It's kind of funny to see that. Strange, but funny. Then we get all these dramatic, quick shots of different characters from the show. We see Carol crying and Maggie crying and Carl and a new character, Bob Stuckey is this new character. He's standing there and he's got his hand up and his hand's shaking and it's covered in blood. And then it also shows the back of Tyrese's head. looking down at him from behind at the floor, and there's this trail, smeared trail of blood leading, through this passageway in the prison, leading out a door, and then there's more pictures of characters from the prison, and sad and distraught and crying and whatever. And then it goes back to Tyrese. He comes out the door. He's holding flowers, and the look on his face is just priceless. It's like he's looking at something. He's so awestruck. His jaw is just it's like, what is he looking at? I'm guessing that's a scene where there's a character death, but I'm not gonna assume too much yet because I could be way off. But it's got to be something absolutely horrible that he looks like this, in the trailer. And then we get to a clip where we hear Herschel talk about how we just lost, 12 of their people, 2 of them in cold blood. That makes you wonder some other stuff. Cold blood. Did someone actually invade the prison and kill people? Is that something the governor would actually do, stealth like, sneak in with a couple guys, take out a couple people, and take off? The governor's pretty far gone at this point. He's pretty sick. I wouldn't put it past him, but it doesn't exactly sound like something he would do, though. It sounds like something someone else would do. We'll have to see. It's all speculation at this point. And then it shows the fence is bending from all the walkers. The fences are collapsing from the force of all the walkers pressing on them. All these walkers at one time, at one point. These fences aren't going to hold up forever. And obviously, there's got to be some kind of dissent in the group, because then we see vehicles leaving the prison. 3 vehicles. We see Daryl and 2 other vehicles. Daryl's on his bike and 2 vehicles behind him, and we hear him say, "Sooner or later, we run." And right before that, shows Glenn talking to Maggie. They're in bed together, and he's like, "We have to go." So, there's fighting going on in the prison because of the chaos and the stress, or B, they just can't handle defending it anymore, and they don't feel safe anymore, so they're trying to look for another place to go to. So why these people want to go. And so it shows in another scene after that, it shows Daryl, Michonne, that new character Bobby, and Tyrese. And Tyrese's eye is all messed up at this point, obviously from a fight or defending himself from a walker or something. They're in a car, and they get completely surrounded by walkers, and they're just going nuts. And especially Tyrese, he's the last one out of the car, and he's got his axe or machete or whatever he's got, and he's just hacking and hacking and hacking and hacking, just like in the the poster for that was released a few weeks ago for season 4. The one on Facebook, the banner, the cover photo. But it's just a crazy, chaotic scene, and then the next scene shows the same group, 4 people running through a building, running from walkers. All the walkers have no eyes. It's like the scariest scene of the whole trailer. None of these walkers have eyes. The blood's just from the eye sockets. Crazy. More chaos, more running. Carol's running from walkers. She's out in the prison yard, and she's stuck out there, and Rick has to save her. Then it goes back to showing the car where the 4 people are in it: Daryl, Bob, Michonne, and Tyrese. And they're trying to get away from obviously where they were, and they're on this pile of walkers, and there's just walker guts spraying air all over the place, and just that little clip is just oh my god, it's so intense. Um, and then Rick's telling someone to calm down. He's arguing with someone. And this shows Tyrese holding Daryl up, by scruff of his neck up against the wall. Turns around and he's decking Rick. Then Rick goes down, and then there's an awkward. There's all these quick flashes of stuff going on, and it's really hard to make out some of them. I'm not going to pick out every single scene here, but there's a really awkward flash of Daryl and Beth together. And you want to talk about, I think Daryl's a person where he doesn't want people, in his bubble. Uh, we could say in this clip that lasts about a second and a half, Beth is in his bubble. She's right there, and it just looks awkward. Like there's something going on there. Is there going to be something going on between, some kind of weird triangle between Daryl and Carol and Beth? We'll have to see. Then the big, October 13th, AMC is when it returns, Sunday. And then it shows goes back to the group of the four in the car again. Daryl's driving, Michonne shotgun, Tyrese and Bobby are in the back seat. We hear a voice, and it says Sanctuary. And I've listened to this a couple times, and it's hard to make it out, but this is my best interpretation of what it says. It says Sanctuary, and then they're like, "Oh, was that a voice?" And then he's like, "Shh." And it says, "Those who arrive survive." So you got to wonder, okay, they left the prison. Where are they going? They're got to find some new kind of sanctuary, some new kind of safe haven to, start a new life again. Where are they going? It shows a clip somewhere towards the end. It shows Michonne looking at a map. A lot of different cities on there. Couldn't exactly pinpoint one or recognize anything that she was looking at. But yeah. So this new season is going to be intense. Just when you think The Walking Dead can't get any better or any more exciting or chaotic or scary or whatever, just from the look at this trailer, we haven't seen anything yet. And there's going to be all new character development with all the new people from Woodbury that they brought over. It's going to be nuts. I can't wait for it. So that's my little review analysis of it. I loved it. I'll probably watch it 20 more times before the season starts. Just to pick it apart some more and see if I can figure some stuff out. And if I hear any more significant news about, what they're shooting or whatever, and we haven't heard too much, just little snippets on locations and stuff like that. But if I hear anything significant, I'll put it on here too. So, well, hey, thanks for watching. If you're a Walking Dead fan, stay on here. I do a lot of wrestling stuff, but I'm trying to change it up and do some other things too, not just wrestling. Uh, it gets boring after a while. You want to talk about a few different things, so change it up, keep it fresh on here. So, well, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Later.